Noémie's favourite sow is on the mend after a long night in labour. This 32-year-old woman has a small holding with a few dozen black pigs in southwest France. She believes in organic farming.
She's very lively for a sow who was half dead last night.
Noémie graduated in 2014 with a degree in public affairs from the prestigious French university Sciences Po. She used to be a jet-setting consultant working in London and Hong Kong. Her new rural lifestyle couldn't be any more different.
It was obvious when I started to get my hands back into the land. I just knew that this was what I wanted to do with my life, and not to continue to support a system that puts pesticides, endocrine disruptors, and pollutants into our environment.
Back in 2018, Swedish environmental activist Greta Thunberg sparked off a global movement, with young people around the world taking to the streets to protest against perceived government inaction over climate change. Students at France's top universities also joined in, with graduation ceremonies no longer a moment of celebration, but a platform. Graduates like Anne Fleur used them to demand that their institutions change.
After a few months of carefree campus life at HEC, I felt deeply upset, realizing that the careers it was leading me to were the main cause of this environmental collapse.
These jobs are destructive, and to choose them is to do harm.
Let's stand against the way of life this world and school cultivate. We have to deal with a struggling planet.
We refuse to serve this system, and we've decided to look for other professional paths.
I chose a career in sustainability to embrace this collective movement.
Anne Fleur now works as a climate change consultant for a large company. But since taking a stand last summer, she is regularly contacted to give speeches at high-profile events alongside established climate change experts.
Savoir répondre à l'urgence climatique, savoir ce que c'est que les limites planétaires, ce sont des compétences complètement nécessaires pour nos carrières professionnelles et ce ne sont pas aux élèves de les demander, ce sont aux établissements, aux professeurs de leur enseigner.
Je me suis sentie écoutée, j'ai pas senti en tout cas que les autres intervenants de la table ronde cherchaient à m'infantiliser ou minimiser les propos ou minimiser l'urgence aussi. Pour moi, c'est important que quelqu'un soit là pour faire passer ce message-là avec le niveau de radicalité que nous impose l'urgence climatique.
To meet the students' demands, France's elite institutions are making concrete changes. Demands that have also been heard in government, with the Minister of Higher Education recently announcing that by 2025, all undergraduates will have to complete a course teaching the green transition in order to be able to graduate. Renowned engineering school Polytechnique will launch a compulsory sustainable development course taught by a co-author of the latest IPCC report at the start of the new school year.
There is a growing demand. Students are making their schools change, asking to learn more about the subject, to be better prepared. They're looking into the issue of action. And that, as a teacher, is also something that we have to respond to more and more.
Anyone who wants to learn about green issues can come here to the Transition campus. Created in 2018, the campus aims to test low-tech solutions to ecological problems.
Let's go to the veggie garden. We have lots of leeks.
Benoit has been working on the campus for a few months. A former student of the École Polytechnique, he showed the ropes to new recruit Marie.
It's a place for experimentation and education. Groups that come quite regularly are offered the opportunity to really get their hands dirty.
This 25-year-old joined Polytechnique as students were becoming increasingly worried about the climate emergency. But he says the changes so far have only been superficial.
The main motivation for schools is rankings, it's internationalization, it's growth. They're not prepared for the radical change needed to deal with this ecological crisis.
Despite originally studying engineering, Benoit now runs workshops, teaching ordinary citizens how to lead greener lives.
Here we can see the yearly carbon footprint of one French citizen, nearly 10 tons of CO2.
Here at the Château de la Transition, he explains how human activity harms the planet.
There are two things that are most important when it comes to ecology. There are political levers, having political weight, and getting as many people as possible involved in the climate transition. Here, I'm acting more on this second lever, by being on campus, by making sure that as many people as possible understand the transformations that we need, and encouraging people to join the movement.
Many young graduates want the elite universities they fought so hard to get into to overhaul their teaching and offer courses that reflect the seriousness of the unfolding climate emergency. This in order to better prepare France's brightest and best to tackle it head on.